Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Cowboys StoryLine with Nick Eatman.
Good morning and welcome to Cowboys StoryLine. I'm Nick Eatman. It is Wednesday, November the 6th. Let's talk a little Cowboys football like we always do. We'll give you guys an opportunity to do that. Phone lines are always open. Well, not always open when you guys call and tie them up, which we appreciate for sure. 888-855-2297 is the number to call. Not even going to throw the text line out there because we don't hit the text as much anymore. We love hearing you guys talk, and we'll hit some people can't call, so we'll continue to do that. If I had the number in front of me, I'd throw it out there. All right, let's get right to it here though. There it is. You can text the show 817-290-3298. Chris, let's get a text today. Let's get one text line. Let's figure it out. You guys send a decent text. Don't send something that says Jerry sell the team or something like that. Just send a text message that we can read, please. Text the show, 817-290-3298. But we'll start with the calls like we always do. We're going to go to Gary in New Mexico. Gary, what's up?
Hey, Nick, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. We held them to less than 30 this past week, so we're getting better.
Okay.
Progress, baby steps. Okay, I got a trivia question for you this week.
All right.
Okay, one of my favorite players growing up was Tony Dorsett.
Me too.
Yes. Okay, so Tony Dorsett's last rushing touchdown as a Dallas Cowboy came at Texas Stadium against the Philadelphia Eagles. There was something very unique about that game. Can you tell me what it was?
It was a strike game. He crossed the picket line.
Yeah, he was kind of forced. If you remember, he was kind of forced across the picket line by Tex Schramm, and Landry put those guys in to get him some work.
And he was booed. He was booed when he got the ball.
He was, man. I was a sophomore in high school during that strike year. That was a fun time to be a football fan. You remember the Rhinestone Cowboys? The replacement guys were more popular than the real team that year.
It was a weird. I was younger. I didn't cover it, but I know Mickey tells a lot of good stories about it. How there was a player that played for the Jets. He was like from Rutgers, and they played at the Jets, and he gave his mom gave him his laundry. Like he had given it to him before the game, and then after the game she said, "Here's your laundry," because he couldn't do it. I mean, it was just like weird stuff like that. These guys were just all of a sudden playing in the NFL, and then all of a sudden not. So
yeah, the funniest thing about the strike year was the banners at Texas Stadium. We don't do banners anymore. I wish we would do that again. But the banners at Texas Stadium that said, "White's a weenie, we want Sweeney."
Yeah.
I never will forget those. But anyway, that just shows you how smart we are as fans to think Kevin Sweeney could have been a starting quarterback. But I got a scenario for you for the current Cowboys, and just hear me out, and then I'll listen to your thoughts.
Okay.
Probably going to have a new head coach next year. I hope things turn around and we have some storybook ending, but that doesn't look very feasible right now. So I was looking back at the coaches Jerry's had. He likes to hire people that he knows. The only two coaches that's ever won Super Bowls for Jerry were both college head coaches with no pro coaching experience. They were both overseer-type coaches, not coordinators, kind of big personality guys. Now, I know that this individual has stated more than once he has no desire to coach in the NFL, but things can certainly change given the right opportunity. Think about Deion Sanders.
No, thank you. All right. Did we just get cut off?
Run higher.
Oh.
He needs a home run higher. He needs somebody who can relate to the players. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know if that'll happen, but I'm just throwing that out there. I would like your thoughts on that, and thanks for taking my call.
Thank you. Again, when it's time to talk about a new head coach, I think we'll talk about a new head coach, and I hope you can respect that. There's a head coach over here who's trying to get this thing turned around and beat the Eagles. So I'm not going to talk about another coach that's also has a job and all that kind of stuff. I don't think it's a good idea to talk about that stuff. It's just not. We're just not there. I'm sorry. I got 9 football games to play, and And that's the thing. We talked about this the other day. You guys look ahead, that's fine. And that maybe this is one for the StoryLine community, the spaces. Y'all can do that. Y'all have the ability to do that. We do this show like this. That's, to me, it's you couldn't be more disrespectful to a group of people that are trying to figure this out. And I understand that you don't like the results, and the results aren't there, and they're not doing it, and it's dead man walking is what you guys like to say. But that's not the case. That's not the case. They're trying to get this thing turned around. I'm not going to talk about another possibility for a coach. So that's just, everybody has a job from that standpoint. I don't think that's what we can do to move on. Sorry, we can't talk about that, and nor should we, in my opinion. Jeremy in Salt Lake City, Utah. Jeremy.
Hey, Nick. How's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
Good. Greetings from the Great White North, brother.
All right.
Obviously this has been a disappointing season for Cowboys fans, and, especially where we've been kind of having some high hopes for the last 3 years. I think our best team in that window was the 2021 team. I kind of want your opinion on that. But the other thing is, for me, the rest of the year is let's beat the Eagles, man. If we lose out and win those 2 games, you know what I mean? I won't be happy, but at the same time, Sirianni tried to give that game away last week. I don't know if you watched any of the last quarter of that game, but it was a joke the way he managed the clock. And I think I don't think it would be. Nick, you've always talked about these certain type of games that these Cowboys teams win. It always seems like when we have absolutely zero to cheer for or a reason to think we're going to win, we win those types of games. I kind of feel like this week could be one of those weeks. Cooper Rush, has performed well. And I just, it can't be all doom and gloom because we still, like you said, we still got 9 games left. I'm still going to be cheering for them next year.
Yeah.
It's not like any of us are going to switch teams or anything like that. Yeah, it sucks to be kind of on the bottom, but it's just the pendulum swinging one way. And, other things for Cowboys fans to look forward to, the Niners are going to have to pay Brock Purdy next year. The Eagles have some big contracts coming up too. It ain't all just us, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Just sit back, dip your tea, whatever. Let's see what we can do with the rest of the season, and go Cowboys.
All right. Thanks, Jeremy. Appreciate that. You're right. It's all you can do, and I agree with you. I don't think that. It's just the way the NFL goes this year, every year. I just don't believe that the Cowboys are going to lose every game. I just look at how they're playing. These games were tight. Even when they look like a blowout, they're still tight. Teams come back. They do that kind of stuff. I do think the Cowboys are going to get some help. They're going to get some better players coming in here. Some really good ones, that should help on a lot of cases. And I think that I think they'll win some games. They'll surprise some. I don't know if they can get this thing back and get on the run. It doesn't seem likely when you consider all of the injuries that they've had, and now they're coming back, and then Dak's out, and we'll see. Cooper Rush. I think they'll be competitive. I think they'll sneak and win a few games here and there. And for me, that's a good thing. I'm not one that's don't mess up the draft. Just play. That's the way I feel, at least. Michael in Bowling Green, Kentucky's next.
Why, the glass is 3/4 full.
3/4.
I didn't get much sleep last night. It's raining, but it's a beautiful day. I believe that the 3-5 is the best. Cowboys 3-5 in the league. And I'm gonna go with what Broad had said yesterday. He believes this Mingo guy. He just hasn't came into his own because of bad quarterback play. So now he's with Dallas. Cooper Rush that I think is going to be good with him. Dak, when he comes back, I think Trey Lance is going to get a little bit of playing time off the bench. They're going to beat the Eagles, and we'll see from there. That's
All right.
my opinion.
All
what
right.
do you think?
Well, thanks for the call. Is what I think for that. I appreciate the optimistic view again. And again, you don't have to have optimistic view. I mean, you don't have to be. I don't think I think this team is going to struggle. Like, I mean, making the playoffs doesn't seem likely at all at this point. So I get it. I mean, you don't have to come up here and say it's going to be great, this, and don't worry about it. No, I see it. Everyone sees it. But let's keep it for what it is. It's Philadelphia this week. Philadelphia tried to lose to the Jaguars last week. I mean, they're going to have their attention a lot more on the Cowboys or on this game. I get it. They're playing better football. They've won 4 in a row. Cowboys have lost 3 in a row. They're obviously going in different directions. Hurts is not hurt. Cowboys quarterback is hurt. We'll see what Cooper Rush does. As for Mingo, I went and just looked at some of his college tape, and I understand that's he's played in the NFL, and everyone has good college tape. If you're a second-round pick, you have good college tape. I just was looking to see when the Cowboys really liked him, what did he show? What kind of player was he? And what I liked about the highlights that I saw was just a lot of different routes that he was running that he was effective on. He was going deep. He beat the safety and the corner deep ball touchdown. He went up and over Randy Moss people. He did that. He caught bubble screens. He made some moves there over the middle. So he looks like a possession type of receiver. A big strong guy like that. And I do think they liked him coming out of college. I don't hate this move at all. I don't love it because we'll see, but I don't hate it. And I understand what they're thinking, and in a lot of ways there. But what we'll see. Only time will tell is if he can develop. He's got to keep developing as a player. If he does that and develops that, then it will be a good pick. If you can get a second-round player for a fourth-round pick, that's a good pick. If you don't, if he doesn't pan out at all, then it's not a good fourth-round pick. And just go look at the list of fourth-rounders. There's some good ones, no doubt. You got great value when you look at Dak, you look at Dalton Schultz, you look at Tony Pollard, you look at Dorrance Armstrong. I mean, yes, you've got some guys that they even put the franchise tag on for these fourth-round picks. Go look at some other ones, though. So that's the thing. I mean, when you give a fourth-round pick, everyone's thinking, oh, my God, you had a chance to pick a guy like Schultz or Pollard or Dak. There's a Fajoko there. There's a Tapper. There's Reggie Robinson. You can go both ways on those fourth-round picks. All right, let's go to Cowboy Jeff. He's in Maryland, Mountain Air, Maryland.
Morning. Thanks for taking the call. Hey, first question. You guys hired? That's my dream job. Move down there, retire down there, work for the Dallas Cowboys. So I should have asked Chris that before he put me on hold. But I just wanted to say how much I appreciated your take, because I'm the exact same way. I'm like, one game at a time. I'm not ready to fire anyone. I'm not ready to give up on second round, on second year draft choices. I'm just like, damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. And whether they win or lose, I'm going to still love them. So that's my take. And the question I had, like you told the story about Tony Romo being your quarterback in flag football. Mm-hmm. And you told the story about Tony Romo caddying for him. That must have been awesome. I've caddied for people before. Now, I'd like to hear the story. Now, I could be totally wrong about this. I think one time after a game, Tony Romo hurt so bad that after the press conference, he said, "Hey, Nick, can you help me get off this stage here?" And you gave him a little boost to help him walk off the stage. Is that totally wrong, or
no? That's accurate. That's accurate. I mean, you can Google that. The thing about it is, what I don't love that clip for some reason. I was going through a year. my hair was long. I had really long hair, and not really long hair, but yeah.
But was it against Washington and it was on their field and it was so crappy he stepped wrong and messed his back up?
It was San Francisco. It was the game that he got hurt in San Francisco. That was the game where he got hurt. He punctured lung, right? And comes back, throws the ball to Jesse Holley. Holley goes to the one, they kick it, and they win in overtime back in 2011. And
oh wow, okay.
And so he stepped up on the podium, but the podium was higher than he thought coming down, and he just kind of gave me this look. He didn't say anything. He just gave me a look, and I was standing right there. I could tell he needed a little something, and I just kind of gave him a little shoulder. So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Way to go. That's going above and beyond.
Really isn't. It really is just helping someone off the stage, whatever. It's all good. All right, Cowboy Jeff, appreciate that. Thanks for the call. It's kind of tough to hear, but not bad. Yeah, I got a few Romo memories, I guess, Romo stories. I guess that's really all of them, though. When you think about it, we played flag football on the same team for a few games, and I had to caddy for him once just because I was there. And the same thing with just coming off the stage. I was just there, and that's it. All right, let's go to Carolina in South Carolina. What's up, Carolina?
What's going on, Nick?
How you doing? Come on, man.
Trying to, suck it up. Hey, it's time to go play them Eagles, man. Can't win them all, right?
What are they saying in Carolina about old Jonathan Mingo?
Oh man, you don't want to know. I ain't heard a lot of great things. Everybody keeps saying, "Who is this guy?" That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
But I got a couple questions for you today, man.
Okay.
If we're gonna beat the Eagles, right? Outside of Cooper Rush, who do you think has to have a breakout game if we're gonna win?
Well,
that's one.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I mean, considering that he hasn't played in a month and a half, if Micah Parsons plays, can he count as a breakout player?
Yeah, of course.
Because not only that, it would be a breakout performance if he played well against the Eagles. He really hasn't had strong games against the Eagles. They've kind of figured him out a little bit. We'll see if Kellen Moore's got something for him, but they need some pass rush for sure. And if Micah Parsons plays, definitely, it's got to be him. Okay?
And I would think the same thing. My next question for you is, do you see us leaving this season over 500?
I don't see that, if I'm being real honest. But they're 3-5. You got to get to you'd be 9. You'd have to go 6-3. No, 6-3 of the next 9 games.
Right. Yeah.
To get to 9-8.
Got some rough games coming. I mean, it's a little far fetched, but like you said a few weeks ago, man, just when you think that, oh man, we're going down.
Yeah.
This is going to be a complete, mess. Then out of nowhere, you're like, wait, where was this at a couple of weeks ago?
Right.
I think that we don't have the best team, the best offensive line, the best defensive line, but we could have won a couple of them games just like the 49ers game. It's the mental mistakes and the errors that's really costing us.
Yeah. Here's go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah, I don't know. I just have that feeling like, well, maybe if we could just clean up some of these mental mistakes and errors, then maybe we could at least be a 500 team. At least. I'm not going to go out and say, oh man, we're going to be 5-12. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It has to be a higher ceiling than that, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, and good question here. This is what I will say, looking at the schedule, and yeah, anything can happen if the Cowboys' next 3 games. Look at it in groups of 3, okay? Because there's 9 games left. Let's look at groups of 3 here. If the second set of 3 was next instead of what they have, I would feel better about what their record could be. And I know you could say, well, you got to play them all, but the difference is they got to play coming up Philly, Houston, Washington. Okay? Those 3 tough teams. They all want to beat the crap out of the Cowboys in their own way. Philly, Houston, of course, does. Dan Quinn and those 22 players for the Washington, they're all going to want to just beat the Cowboys as much as possible. Those 3 games are going to be tough regardless. No one's feeling sorry for the Cowboys. Those 3 games are going to be tough. After that, you get the Giants and the Bengals and at Carolina. If those were flipped, I'd feel much better about it because I think if the Cowboys, the quicker you can get things turned around, then the more you keep playing, you stay engaged, you keep fighting and doing different things, tweaking and all that. Guys come back from injury and all that. If these next 3 games don't go well, I think it'll be even harder for that middle pack. Hopefully that makes some kind of sense. I'm gonna have to take a break here on Cowboys Storyline. I'll be right back to answer some more calls.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
We got big personalities. We got big hair, big belt buckles. We got fans all across this big state and enemies in every other one. We even got a big star on the 50-yard line. Smirnoff knows football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks home or away, we rally together. We cry together. And we always rally cry together because, most of all, we got big love for them boys. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to Cowboys Storyline.
It's time for some youth football camps, football and dance camps presented by Invisalign. Don't miss your chance to learn from the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders at the dance camps on December 23rd, former NFL players at the football camps on December 23rd and the 27th. Celebrate the holidays with the Cowboys. Register today at dallascowboys.camp/camps. It's our man Danny McCray running those things over there, doing a good job with those camps for sure. All right, back here on the Storyline. 888-855-2297. We got a couple of callers on the line. We're going to start us off with Sergeant Sue in Fort Worth.
How you doing, Nick? At ease, everybody. How you doing, Nick?
How you doing? It's weird not
Good.
calling you David.
I know, my bad. I mean, if you could call me whatever you want, man, it is what it is.
It's okay.
But,
David in Fort Worth, Sergeant Sue.
There you go. No worries. But, yeah, man, I haven't been able to call for a while. Work's been a little bit busy. I apologize about that. But there's a lot of stuff that I can touch on, but I don't want to go back in time. What I do want to talk about is the team that we got now, the players that we have now.
Yep.
And, I've sat through way worse seasons before. I've seen way worse teams before, and the passion and the love that I have for this team never left. And it's not going to leave now. I don't care who's playing. I don't care who's suiting up. I want to see some good football. I want to see people go out there and really, really try. And I'm excited. I've heard Travis talk about maybe getting Trey Lance some snaps. I've heard Dylan talk about letting Deuce Vaughn get in there, let Deuce get loose, and I'm all for that. I just want to see my team go out there. You don't stop loving just because they're not that good. You don't stop loving or stop caring just because they let you down. I can't control what the owner does, can't control what the coach does, or none of that stuff. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy. I've been deployed before. I've had to miss a lot of games. I've had to watch a lot of games via Skype. You know what I mean? So I'm just appreciative that I get to see it. So I don't really have a question or anything, man. I just wanted to share a little bit of a perspective. I know a lot of people kind of feel like a little bit negative about the team, but hey, man, they're the Dallas Cowboys. We love them so much. We're going to continue to watch, and I'm just super excited, brother. That's all I got, man.
Well, thank you for the call, for sure. We're not going to have a better call today than that, in my opinion. Doesn't mean don't keep calling or whatever. Please, we got a phone line open. Please call in. But I appreciate the perspective. I appreciate, first of all, anybody in the military doing what they do. It's different, obviously when you're talking about like what's important, priorities, and all that. And I understand that the Cowboys whatever it is, you got to have things to kind of keep your mind off of things. And I've heard so many times that this show does that, and I'm very appreciative and proud that we're able to do that. You can look at seasons differently and kind of, have a different perspective. They're a little bit, it's less pressure, and just let's go see what happens. Let's go watch it. The Cowboys, or any team, when it's your team, but let's just say this is the show, the Cowboys. They're your family. I've said it 1,000 times. I'll say it again. You don't choose to be a Cowboy fan. It chooses you. You've heard that speech. But the Cowboys are your family. You get mad at your family. You get mad at your brother, your mom, dad, kids. They're your family. And they ain't going anywhere. You still love them. You're upset with them. Yeah. Go to your room. Whatever. When do you come back? You come back Sunday at 3 o'clock. That's when you come back. You come back Sunday at 3 o'clock with a better attitude. We're going to go play the Eagles. That's what happens. Happens every week. I'm not saying put your kid in the room until Sunday. I'm just saying, you know what? When it's time to come back, it comes back. And every week, that's what happens. It's Cowboys are your family. All right, let's go to, is it Chuck D, our next caller? I lost it here. Chuck D. Yep.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, Chuck.
Hey, speaking of being upset, if I wanted to beat somebody, it's going to be the Eagles. I've heard people say Sirianni's got the most punchable face, and I have to agree with that statement. I can't stand that dude.
Yeah.
But I just hope we win. I know it's been rough, but hey, if we can beat them at 3 o'clock, that'd make for a really good Sunday. Give us a little hope. And another thing I was going to bring up. When do you think maybe you can get Woody back on? Because I sure would like to call in and ask him a question. But that's all I got today.
Let's do that. It's a good idea. I'm gonna give him a call and see what he thinks about coming on the show. I like to get his perspective on that. He's played. Thanks for the call, Chuck. He played so many years that he played through great seasons. He had some like this too, where we're just trying to fight your way back up, and a lot of injuries and searching for answers and that kind of stuff. And I think what I'd love to ask him is how the team stays positive every week, trying to figure out ways that what are they playing for. So now he was never one that you had to worry about. But as a leader, though, you got to get the whole team thinking in the same way. All right, Rick in Massachusetts is next.
Hey, Nick, how you doing?
Good. How's it going?
It's going all right.
All right.
I'm good in good spirits, stuff like that. I'm what Sergeant Sue and a few other people have talked about. Take it 1 week at a time. Enjoy the game. If we win, we win. If we don't, but prefer to beat the Eagles. But also, let's see what Jonathan Mingo can do. Give him a new site, new type, see what he can do.
Yeah.
And look forward to what other people are saying is maybe Trey Lance can get him in some option plays and Deuce and all them and Florida and see what they can do. But let's go out and get some wins and see what we can do by the end of the season and go from there.
All right. That's all. Thanks, Rick. That's all you can do. And thanks for the call. Going back to what you said about, Trey Lance, I get the sense that might happen. Obviously, you're not going to hear coaches say, "Oh yeah, let's give away the game plan" or whatever. I mean, he's saying what McCarthy said is that Cooper Rush is our guy, and that is the case. I mean, he will be the guy, and they have a lot of respect for what he can do. We've seen him have some success, but you do have a unique situation with Lance, and I'd like to maybe trick it up a little bit. What better time to do that? He's got to know the plays. I mean, he's got to they got to practice them. He's got to get the opportunity to do that, and that's where it gets a little dicey, because you want. Cooper Rush has not gotten a lot of reps here. You want him to get as many snaps as possible. Here he is. He's rusty. He needs all of these reps. And at the same time, are you taking him off the field and just in practice for Trey Lance to get some snaps here and there? So, but I'm for it. I mean, I think they can figure out a way to do that where they both should play. And so. We'll see what goes there. As for what you said about Mingo, Again, I just, and I've had some arguments with people, not arguments, but I mean, we've talked about with people here in the building that didn't love the pick, didn't love the fourth round, giving up the fourth round pick for it. That's what's weird is, would you have been fine with a fifth? Because really a fourth, I don't know, a fourth and a seventh seems about the same as a fifth. I get it. Seventh round pick. There's not a lot there. I mean, you might get a player or two that can help you, but I think we're looking at it just from that standpoint, and not ever with any kind of hope that the second round pick receiver can be that. Like, I think that's what I hate, and I kind of feel sorry for this guy. I really do, Jonathan Mingo. I feel sorry for the fact that, a lot of times players just need a fresh start. Is he going to get one? I mean, is he really going to get a fresh start here? I mean, he seems like he's coming in here with the target on his back already. Like he's already a bust, or it didn't work out because it didn't work in Carolina. Who's working in Carolina? Who's doing well there? I mean, seriously, in a situation like that. So I hope he gets a fresh start. I hope he gets a chance to come here, see what it is, because it's real easy. Every time he does anything that doesn't do well, then this is all going to be a Jerry move. And that's what's kind of sad about it. It's the reality, but it's sad about it. I hope he gets a real fresh start, gets a chance to do some things this year. I hope he's in the Dak yard next year. I hope when Dak's out there throwing in his yard, I hope he's front and center. Because if that happens, you definitely see players elevate. You see Jalen Tolbert this year has done it. I've seen Noah Brown, and I've seen Cedric Wilson. Those guys, they get a lot of reps. So I really hope that happens. And I think by next year you have a chance to get a pretty good player. And if that does happen, then you get a guy that's a second round, maybe second, third round pick for a fourth round pick, then you did win. So that's the way I'm looking at it. And I mean, it's not a bad trade yet. I mean, we can't tell if it's a bad trade yet because the guy hasn't done anything yet, good or bad. All right, Randy in San Antonio. Randy.
Hey, Nick, how are you today?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing quite well. It sounds like you were talking about what I wanted to kind of talk about.
All right, go ahead.
The receiver. I actually really like a 6'2", 220-pound guy with the athleticism when they went over all his combine stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think the fourth round has given up the farm. The Cowboys had a second-round grade on him, it sounds like. So, like you said, if this turns out to be a guy that's a second-round talent, maybe you've got your number 2 receiver and you're not paying him CeeDee Lamb money if he's your number 2. So maybe you have a chance to even pay him, 2, 3, 4 more years for your number 2 receiver, but not break the bank and give you some flexibility to get some other pieces in. I really like the move. That sounds like explosion, long broad jump, good high jump, relatively, 4.46 40, really fast. And then could I say something about your military guys? A retired military guy myself. Really, really cool to hear his perspective. But I listened to the 92 San Francisco playoff game on a ship on something called teletype, which is basically like a digital radio broadcast of the TV broadcast. So technology's changed. Now we have a lot more games on the Armed Forces Network. But yeah, I with a good friend of mine, we were both Cowboys fans, got some junk food and went and listened to the game on that teletype thing. So it's kind of crazy how much technology's changed.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I would I still think it would have been cool to hear whatever. You're seeing it, you're hearing it. Alvin Harper breaking away on that 70-yard pass. Which,
man, we were jumping up and high-fiving on that play so much, and we had went into a lounge where I worked to start to watch it or listen to it with everybody else, and it was just completely full. So we went to another space where it was just us, so a little more room. Anyway, cool stuff. Great show, Nick.
Thank
you.
I
wanted to give us some perspectives on the Mingo trade. I kind of like it. I wish they had done a little bit more, actually.
Yeah, I hear you. And thanks for the call, and Randy. Great perspective as well. I've said this before, and I talk about stuff all the time, sometimes on the radio, sometimes here. Can't remember what the points I'm making. I think, this trade reminds me of it's like a good gift to your kids on October the 18th. Like, wow, you gave me this. Like, this is pretty cool. Thanks. I like it a lot. Oh, man, I wanted this. If you make it Santa's gift on Christmas Day, oh, really? Like, oh, I thought it would be more than that. So I think it's a good trade. I just think from what Jerry was saying, I think the expectations of everything and all this all-in crap and all that stuff, it's like, who are we getting? And it's like, oh, Mingo? For and it's easily criticized and all that. I think ultimately it could be a good trade. We'll see. I mean, just like with any draft pick, with any pick, with anything, it's a we'll see. And he's still at that stage where we'll see how he develops. So I don't hate the move at all. I think it could be a good one. I just think the timing of it is very easy to criticize again. And I said that. What, Monday? I said whatever they do. If they make a move, it'll be criticized. If he doesn't, it'll be criticized for staying pat because they don't care, blah, blah. Or if you sell, it'll be criticized for giving up and quitting and all that. So you really can't win on a situation like that. All right, let's go to Griff in San Angelo.
Morning, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm doing peachy, both feet on this side of the dirt and upright.
All right. Well, thanks for the call. I know this is first time. I haven't heard Griff or Peachy before, so I love it. So thanks for the call. Here we go.
Hey, I'm going to switch gears a little bit. I'm kind of looking forward.
All right.
Has anybody said anything about the Eagles' offense looking similar to what Kellen ran when he was with us?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's some concepts but you got to remember. I don't think it is different. I mean, I don't think it is the same because he's not using Jalen Hurts like they were using Dak. There's certainly not a Barkley. So I think the pieces are a little different.
No, I just didn't know if we were kind of expecting what he ran when he was in San Diego for a minute, or if he was running things that he was running here.
Yeah.
Or if it was still what Sirianni kind of wanted to do.
I think, and this is the credit to Kellen. I mean, and most of these young coordinators, I mean, most coaches, they take the pieces that they have and they kind of take their concepts and mold it around there too. So obviously he's not running the same stuff that he ran with Herbert in the Chargers as he's doing here. I mean, Eckler's a different back than Barkley and all that kind of stuff. So different concepts. I mean, or different ways of doing certain things. I'm sure the concepts are the same, but you can't just look at it, the same way because what the Chargers had and what last year and what they had with Philadelphia is totally different. I think you just got to look. You got a good sample size. You've seen it now for 8 games of what they're doing, and that's what makes Philly so hard because it's like, okay, I mean, like what's the play that they run the most that you see the most from Philly?
That's the thing.
The tush push.
It's so much different.
Well, but I'm just saying they run a play that everyone in the world knows is going to do.
The tush push for sure.
Right. But that's the thing. Like Philly's not trying they're not trying to trick you. They're like, we're running the ball. Can you stop it? I don't think you can.
No.
And so that's what makes it kind of tough. They've got good enough players, good enough scheme that it's like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to throw the ball to Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. I'm not sure. I think A.J. Brown is going to be playing. I think he got hurt, but I think he's going to play. They just got really good players, and so I don't know if you can really say we know what Kellen Moore likes to do. I think everyone knows what the Eagles are trying to do. They're just hard to stop.
They're just really, really good at it.
Really good at it. You're right about that. And they're starting to get better and better. They're really starting to find their rhythm right when they play the Cowboys.
When you have somebody like Saquon hurdling people backwards, it's kind of hard to prepare for that.
That might be the greatest play I've ever seen. I mean, honestly, when I first saw it, I thought it was one of those plays that was kind of somebody's tricking, and messing around with the graphics and stuff like that. Like, there's no way he really did that in a game.
That kind of goes back to like Witten and running without the helmet. And
yeah.
Zeke the first time he hurdled somebody. it's a unique play that nobody can plan on. I think it's just an instinct thing.
Unbelievable. It really is. And what a freak of a player he is, man.
Let you go, dude.
All right. Thanks.
Have a good day, and hopefully we'll have a win this weekend.
All right. Good to hear from you, Griff. All right. First-time caller there. We're going to take another break here on the Storyline. We got a couple more calls we can get to when we wrap this thing up. We'll be right back.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Altec Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit AltecLansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's AltecLansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Altec Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Cowboys Storyline.
Support the military members, veterans, and their families with the 2024 Salute to Service collection, from camo patterned hoodies, hats, to gear, proudly showing off the Dallas Cowboys star alongside the stars and stripes. This collection is more than just football. Visit a Dallas Cowboys pro shop near you. Log on to shop.dallascowboys.com, a Fanatics experience, and join our mission. All right, back here on the Storyline, let's go right to the phone lines. We got Robbie in Cocoa Beach, Florida. Robbie, what's up?
What's up, Nick? How's your day going? How's your boy doing?
It's going good, man. He's doing good. He's doing good, yeah. Got some playoff game going on this week. He was actually in the studio yesterday on the show. I didn't get him on the air. There was a couple times I was kind of telling him to move over, so he was on. You know, I don't know, his head might have gotten into the camera a little bit, but yeah, he's doing good.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking.
Outstanding. Yeah, of course, man. Kids are the future, right?
Yeah.
So I remember in '88, my second or third year in the Navy, maybe my fourth, it's third. And I watched this, and we went 3-13. So last year, Tom Landry, man in the store, right? Great guy. I cheered for my team the whole year.
Yeah.
Jimmy Johnson came in, and we went 1-15.
Yep.
And we beat the Redskins in early November. It was before Thanksgiving, but we beat the Redskins, and I was in the first Gulf War then. And I got to watch that on the, I don't know, whatever it was called, the USO thing. And it was the only game I watched the whole season. It was the only game we won. And I'm going to cheer for us every game. And I think that we still play like we're going to win. I mean, that's why you play the game. You don't ever play to lose. I hate these people that call in and say, we need to get ready for next year and get better draft picks and sell. Let's fight, and keep going, you know?
Yeah. Well,
I hope we beat the Eagles, and I don't know if we can, but, God, if Mike comes back and Deron Bland comes back, which is still doubtful, I think, right?
Deron Bland?
Yeah.
I think he has a chance to play this week. I mean, we'll see. Yeah. I think Mike has got a better chance to play, but I think we'll see. Today's a big day. Today's a big day to see what they're doing practice wise. See if they're kind of working themselves back into practice. I think he's got a shot for sure.
And I'd like to, as a retired Navy guy, I'd like to do a shout out to all the service members, especially Sergeant Sue and everybody else who calls in. Thank you guys for your service and keeping our country free. I don't care who you voted for, but we all have the right to choose who we want because we have put our lives on the line to give us our freedom.
Right.
Thanks, Nick.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you for the call. Appreciate that. And, and this is what I love about the show is people have different perspectives because they have, different, history. I mean, they have a different path that they've gone through. They see things, different experiences. So, sometimes I would think, you've been deployed, you've gone over and you fought, for the country, and you've been, in different places. You've listened to games, playoff games on radios and things like that, you might have a different perspective than when it comes to, well, let's just go for next year or whatever like that. Again, nobody's right, nobody's wrong. Everyone does their thing. And I know this: the people that are saying, "Oh, well, let's just think about next year," maybe in the big picture, that's what they are thinking about. But I can promise you, they're going to be glued to the TV at 325 against the Eagles. That's just the way it is. And so yeah, you might say, let's look this way. But everyone's still looking right now. I doubt that people are tuning out and say, well, I'm done with this year. That's not the people that call this show, because these are the diehards. This is what it is. This is what diehard means. You die hard. When you're dying and you're not playing it's tough. This matters this much. And so nobody's going anywhere. They're going to be watching the game every game. All right. Last caller here we got is AD in Atlanta. AD.
Hey, what's going on, Nick? How you been?
I'm good, man. This is the first time you've called the StoryLine.
Yeah, definitely. I talked to you guys a few years back, but definitely want to get to you quickly. Do you think Mingo plays this weekend? That's question number one. Question number two, do you think Mike McCarthy really has a handle on the locker room? It does seem like from a distance that he might have lost, the command that he would have needed due to just being on a one-year contract. I really feel like that might have been the nail in the coffin for us as far as like the coaching, getting the players to do better. And then my last question would be just, do you really think at any point in time we'll get a better feel for who's making the decisions with Jerry? Because, he can hide behind the conglomerate idea that everybody's feeding him ideas for him to make a decision. We know Steven's involved. We know Will McClay is involved. I just wish we could kind of get a real good feel on who's making these decisions, who's really the person, because it doesn't seem like all the decisions link up together. You guys have a blessed and beautiful time. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Well, I don't know. Here we go. Thanks for the call, AD. First time and got in quick, in and out right there. Three questions. That last one, though, we're going to run out of time before we even start thinking about that one. Who's making the decisions based off of, if they look like, well, they're kind of different. Well, they are. The situations are different. They're always changing. Yes, there's an owner and a GM, and that's Jerry Jones. But I think we've learned by now, that he has said this 1,000 times, and it's true. I mean, like, They make these decisions as a group. They talk about it, and he's always said, if there's a tie in the room, well, I'll break it. But I think that sometimes it's not a tie. Sometimes more people think this way, and Jerry's been overruled at times. Steven is making a lot of these moves too, or these decisions. Will McClay and Mike McCarthy, everybody does, because the coaches, they factor this in and they say, hey, this guy, this is what we like. This is how we can use him. That's why it's good to have continuity with your coach and your scouts, because they kind of know what type of player they want, what type of player they're going to need. Mingo playing this week, we'll see. Again, it's going to have to come down to what he can do and how much he understands the terminology and that kind of stuff. He should be ready. He should be ready to play. He should be in football shape and all that kind of stuff. And I would think from a receiver standpoint, I would think you could probably figure out a way to get him involved. He's got to know the routes for sure. And then I guess I don't remember. The second question was, I have McCarthy written down. I can't remember exactly. About that. There's something to be said for that. Like, did he lose the locker room? Is it hard? Is it hard when you don't have a contract? You don't have any future. I'll say this: Jason Garrett, I thought at the end of the rope there for him, I thought it was a time where maybe the message had just kind of worn off a little bit. It'd been there for 9 years. Same message, same thing. He was. You couldn't get more consistent than Jason Garrett. And I thought maybe towards the end, the message did kind of falter a little bit. And perhaps that is the perception of well, you're not, they haven't committed to you long term, so it's hard to. Again, I don't know. I don't think the players think of it that way. It may be a subconscious thing, But, I think everyone's got, has the focus to go win this game this week. That's what it is. That's what the focus is. I don't think it's more than that. I think the plan is got to be go out and win a game this week. Guys, great calls today. Great calls, great perspectives. I understand how tough this is to be a Cowboy fan right now, but I like the way you guys are bringing it. It's not easy, but this is what the situation that they're in, making the most of it. You guys are doing a great job doing it, and I really love talking to you guys about it, and we'll see, we'll see how things go this week, and we got a couple more shows beforehand to talk about it, including tomorrow. So we'll be back tomorrow. For Chris Beam, I'm Nikki, and we'll see you tomorrow on the Storyline.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?